Alright, so simulation done, everything looks good. I can see I got a lot of craziness, which is good. So let's decrease the point size so we can see better the detail inside the explosion. Here we go. And let's check it. Alright. So it does look like a monster. Uh, it's really get that creepy look to it. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. So let's go ahead and trying to make this look like actual lava. So I'm gonna do this using the two attributes, exponent, so viscosity and vorticity. So let's go ahead and create a point VOP and let's call this vorticity shade. Let's dive inside and let's bring a bind where I'm gonna go grab my vorticity attribute. So let's see what happens if we just plug this into the color output. So let's bring back some point size so we can see better. And here we go. So we can see some black and white value. Everything seems to be out of range. So let's just bring a fit range unclumped. And let's start playing with the maximum destination to see if we can get our vorticity back. So here we go. You can see it now. So looking pretty good. So vorticity, really useful attribute when you're dealing with flip, especially for shading. So here we go. Let's now put some color into it. So I'm gonna bring a constant, which I'm gonna put in vector RGB, and I'm gonna do a first color dark red, this color. I'm gonna duplicate, and this time I'm gonna do yellow. So let's do 2 by 2. Yeah, here we go. So let's now mix those color and let's use as a mask the bias. I'm gonna use my vorticity attribute. Let's plug this into the output color and let's bring a bias so we can get more contrast. And let's put 0, 0, 1. Here we go. The only issue I'm seeing, of course, is the emitter appearing black. And the reason for this is the point emitter has 0 value in vorticity. So what we're gonna do is just we're gonna hide the emitter. So let's just drop a color node, color, and let's go grab our original snake. And let's put some yellow color on it. So let's go 0, 0.5, 0, here we go. Now we're gonna transfer that color to our particle. Here we go. So everything's turning yellow. So let's just specify we want the CD, and in condition we're gonna set this to 0 and use the blend width 0.5. Here we go. So we can still see the emitter, but with the next step we're gonna do, it's gonna be fine. So let's go ahead and use now our viscosity attributes. So we're gonna drop another point VOP, which this time we're gonna call viscosity shade. Then we're gonna dive inside and again, let's bring our attributes. So bind, viscosity, and again, let's just see what we get if we just plug this into the color. Here we go. So we can see our viscosity, a much more grainy binary attribute. So we're gonna use that to put some detail on our lava. All right. So now let's bring again a constant, which is gonna be again a vector, and I'm gonna do two. And the first one gonna be black, and the second one I'm gonna do some again dark reddish. Here we go. So yeah, this color. So let's go mix this color. Right, black in one and red in two. And again, with bias, we're gonna use the viscosity attribute. Let's plug this into our color. And yeah, very similar to what we had earlier in the .NET, just my viscosity attributes. And it is good, but I also want to keep all my vorticity color. So let's just multiply my viscosity by my vorticity. So let's just multiply and let's use the current color. And we can see now that we have both attributes combined. So I can see here it's getting darker, so it means my vorticity is still here. So now um, we get all our attribute, but I would say still look a little bit sharpy and noisy. Not really like lava shader. So let's just try to relax everything. We're gonna go just after our file cache and we're gonna drop blur attributes. And the attribute we're gonna blur is the viscosity. We're gonna blur this by proximity. We're gonna put a very small proximity radius, so 0.1, small step size, let's say 0.05, and let's go with 3 iteration. There we go. So let's go back to our lava. So this is our shader without the blur attribute, and let's now see what it does. All right, much better. You can see a lot of nice detail now. It's doing like kind of a glow inside the color and relaxing everything. It's giving us some contour around the dark areas. And yeah, looking pretty good. So we can see a lot of details around here looking nice. The blur is helping a lot. And yeah, what I like about this technique is we don't need to go crazy high res sim. We got a pretty low res sim, but still with the attribute we manage to get some nice detail. Yeah, you can see here a lot of stuff happening, looking very nice. And for a very cheap price, I mean, simulation was like 20 minutes. Looking good. So getting the vorticity for the big shade, the big ramp, and then just adding a more grainy attributes to get all the small details.